Hello, I'm back. I'm Adrienne. I'm here to share with you the last 3 months of books that I've read. So I read in June, July, August 20 books, which is awesome. I read 11 of them in July alone, which was so cool. And I also read a book that was over 1,000 pages, so very proud of my recent reading. But I haven't been great at doing wrap-ups because I just feel weird like if I waited too long into the month to record it. And also I don't love recapping books, honestly. But since I have 20 of them, I can speed through the ones that I don't feel like talking about and then indulge more in the ones I actually want to chat about. So let's just jump right in with one of the worst books, honestly. Molly's Game by Molly Bloom. I wanted to read this because I love poker. This is a story about a woman who is running a high-stakes underground poker game that turned out to be illegal. I did not realize when I read this that this was written and published while she was awaiting trial. And I was here for like the juicy illegal details. This is so watered down. Like, I don't know if this was intended to defend her from getting sent to prison or something. I was expecting like this strong, powerful, immoral, but brilliant con woman. And instead I got this pathetic, victim, whiny idiot, honestly. And the fact that she wrote this about herself, I'm like, you want people to view you this way? There's no way I would ever tell people when I was just pathetic. Hey, here's this boss I had that treated me like absolute garbage, abused me, and we're friends now. What? Why? I have to find you this part that I wish I would have tabbed it before, but it's despicable. So she's running this poker game, which has a lot of celebrities, and she likes to name drop about Leonardo DiCaprio and Ben Affleck, and Tobey Maguire is an a-hole, so who cares, right? So she's running this game. Glenn comes in, who is her future boyfriend, but this is the first day she meets him. Glenn took one look at me when he walked in, and in his Long Island accent, with all the aggression and fervor of a traitor, exclaimed, "What the F are you doing running poker games? You should be barefoot and pregnant doing yoga or shopping." Okay, pig, right? That's fine. He's an a-hole. His comment surprised me, but so did my reaction. I was offended, but my stomach did a little somersault. It was the first time in a while that a man had spoken to me like I was a woman. Molly. So anyways, the book's about the poker ring. It ends with her getting arrested and she's just like, oh my god, why would I be in trouble? I don't know anything. So next, Memorial by Brian Washington. I think this book went over my head. If you haven't seen my review of The Secret History of Donna Tartt and you want to see a lot of people tell me about a book that went over my head, go read those comments. It has more dislikes than likes, which is fun, and a lot of people telling me that I'm a dummy because I didn't like that book. I don't think this would get the same reaction, okay? I'll admit that this one went a little over my head, maybe? I don't know. This book is about two guys in a relationship. One goes to Japan to visit his dad, who is dying from cancer, who he never knew as a child, I don't think. But at the same time, his mom was coming in from Japan to visit him, and she has to stay with his boyfriend instead. And they kind of bond. The couple is like, why are we even together? Do we even like each other anymore? And they're both just like miserable creatures. Something about this book might be very real. Like how people are so unhappy and miserable, and the way they interact with each other and the way that they treat each other, the attitudes that everyone has. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with them, but just the feeling that I had while reading this, that everyone was just miserable. I didn't like that feeling. I did give the book 4 stars though. I thought it was good. I just wish I would have gotten so much more out of it, and not much actually happens. I've just seen other people's reaction be like over the moon, and I'm like, I missed that. Like, it was good, but honestly, this is just not my kind of book anyways, because it's so heavy. It's heavy without a reward, much light at the end of the tunnel, but it's good. Then I read Bluff, more poker garbage. This one is fiction. It follows a woman who's really good at sleight of hand, and this other woman like recruits her to help her guarantee win this poker tournament by doing some sleight of hand stuff. The book was not well written. The writing was so weird, like not weird, just not normal. This doesn't seem like it'd be a published book, honestly. That's mean, but that's what I think. There was like a good plot twist, so about 2 good pages. The rest was garbage. Next, The Wife Between Us by Greer Hendricks and Sarah Pekkanen. This is my first book by them. I love their writing style. This is a thriller. You're basically reading a jealous ex-wife who's obsessed with her replacement. But there's a bunch of twisty wisties. I honestly, the twist was cool, but I guess what the twist was because of what someone else said. They didn't spoil it, but just because I know their reading taste so well, when they say like, it's my favorite plot twist, like I knew what the plot twist was going to be. I've now read 3 of their books, and they all involve a woman being obsessed or enamored to some capacity with another woman. Not in a romantic way, but just obsessed with this person that they think is better than them, which I've really been enjoying. I haven't loved the ending of any of them, like not loved them, but I enjoy the reading experience so much. I enjoy the writing, I enjoy the characters, so this one, very good. Next, I read The Beauty and Breaking by Michelle Harper. I liked this book, okay, but I wanted to love it. This is nonfiction, follows an ER doctor, personally and professionally. There was something about it that just felt a little phony to me, and I don't actually think that she's phony. I think it's just her personality doesn't connect with mine. I don't like it that much. I liked it okay. I didn't love it. Oh, I don't even know what to say about this. I read When Breath Becomes Air by Paul Kalanithi. Obsessed, in love. So this book called The Beauty and Breaking, and it's not her fault. I mean, she's just a doctor telling her story. But When Breath Becomes Air is a doctor diagnosed with cancer telling his story, dies while writing the book. It's not a fair comparison. But when I see The Beauty and Breaking and I saw nothing broken, and When Breath Becomes Air, like he literally died, not a fair comparison. I'm only comparing it because it's 2 nonfictions written by doctors about being a doctor and like the meaning of life. And this one just, it had no chance. To me, it had no, I don't know if I would have liked it if I'd never read When Breath Becomes Air. But since that's one of my favorite books of all time, like, this book didn't have a chance with me. I'm so sorry. Then, one of my biggest accomplishments in all of life. I read The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. It's so big. So big. So good. Also, high fantasy. Can't even tell you what it's about. I can barely comprehend. I was trying to discuss something with my sister the other day because she's also reading them, and when I'm not like actually reading the book, I can't remember any of the words. Like I don't know how to speak this language, so I'm like, you know, the one thing and that one guy who did this one thing. There's a huge vocabulary, and actually in the second one I saw there was like a glossary in the back. He wrote his own language, basically. I enjoyed it so much. I can't wait to dive deeper into the next books and like reread these later, because I want to be so well versed in the Stormlight archives that I can discuss it intelligently. But right now, I can't. I can't even like think about this book and linearly remember what happened. It was so much. But fantastic. I gave it 5 stars. I gave it 5 stars because I think it's great and I really enjoyed it, but it's not like, it hasn't really gotten me in the heart yet. Like my brain, obsessed. My heart and soul, we're not quite there yet. Then I read Genuine Fraud by E. Lockhart. Some of these, and especially upcoming ones, have vlogs that I read them in case you want more of the reading experience. But next was Genuine Fraud by E. Lockhart. I loved When We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. This is way, 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 way different of a book. This follows a girl who is pretending to be her friend, and we're finding out why. And we're finding out that there's some crazy stuff going on and some murder and mystery. It's telling the story backwards. It turns out that this is actually a ripoff of a classic story that I won't tell you what it is because then it spoils this, but if you ask me in the comments I'll tell you. I gave this 4 stars. I really enjoyed it because it was just crazy fun, but now that I know it was a ripoff of something, it feels dirty. Like I don't want to like it anymore. But I hadn't read the original thing, so I didn't realize it was a ripoff, so I don't know how I feel about that anymore. Then I read The One by John Mars. Whew, I'm getting out of breath. Okay, this one, sci-fi book. There's a DNA test to find out who your one true love is. And they'll match you up if they're in the database. So we follow 5 or 6 different people, including a serial killer, who are looking for their match or found their match every chapter. And there's so many chapters, everything ends in like a little twist. It's so hard to put down, although it's also sometimes I need to put it down because I'm like, ooh, I'm a little overwhelmed. I didn't like watching that serial killer murder that woman. It's really good, really thought-provoking, crazy twist at the end that, like, if that were real, oh my god, it made me want to throw up. Next I read Tell Me Lies by Corolla Lovering. Her other book was a thriller, so I wrongly assumed that this would be a thriller. It's not. It's more of a contemporary fiction, dark contemporary. We follow our main character through her college years in a horribly toxic relationship. She has an eating disorder. She's just like, her life is falling apart and she's ruining her own life to be with this guy who treats her like garbage. And it was just an exploration of that, of toxic relationships. It was okay. So these last few books, all heart pounding. This one was like the last straw for me. I was so stressed out reading these books and it was like affecting my regular life. My mental status was not good. It was damaged by reading back-to-back toxic relationships and murder and thrillers. I had to take a step back. But this book follows a married couple who, for whatever reason, the wife has been planning her 40th birthday for the past 20 years. She's been saving money. She's been looking forward to this for half of her life, and the day is finally here. There's a bunch of like little family conflict things. One of them being she is upset with her daughter for unknown reasons at the beginning, and she's glad that her daughter, who's studying in Hong Kong, won't be able to make it to her birthday party. But the husband doesn't know that they're having trouble. He secretly is having his daughter come to the birthday party. I think this book won't work for a lot of people, and I don't know if it was I was just like in the mindset for this to really get me, or if I just truly like the book. I do love B.A. Paris's writing. It's so engaging to me. But this was so stressful. So stressful. I wanted to finish the book just so I could find out what happened. But I was like, I need to go to sleep. I have work in the morning. And I just laid there for hours. Like, I can't sleep. What happened? I ended up finishing this book at a red light on my way to work, and then I had heart palpitations for the rest of the day. It's so weird. I don't even want to tell you more about what it's about because it feels like a spoiler to know like the main trouble, but there was so much going on. But also, okay, I say there was so much going on because I love family drama. Like, there weren't many big things going on. It's like, oh my god, he left her, she's cheating on him, like stuff like that. I love it, but I don't know, this book was good to me. I don't recommend it though. Next, I'm so late to the party, but The Martian by Andy Weir. I didn't quite give it 5 stars. I think I gave it 4 stars. It's good. I thought it was a little boring. Man on Mars writing journal entries, trying to get back to Earth. What's not to like? Next, oh, my favorite nonfiction of the year so far, The Biggest Bluff by Maria Konnikova. The first poker book that I actually enjoyed. She is a psychologist turned poker player. She ended up being surprised by how much being a psychologist didn't really help her and how many weaknesses she still had at a poker table. But if you love poker and or psychology, this is so good. After some of those dark books put me into turmoil, I needed to read a couple of happy books. So I read Love, Life, and the List by Casey West. This is a young adult book following a girl who's an artist and she wants her art in a show, and the guy's like, no, your art has no heart. So she makes a list of stuff to do to get heart. And she's in love with her best friend, Cooper, who is not interested. I thought the book was good. I thought it was cute, okay, for a contemporary, young adult. And then the end just ruined it and disgusted me. Like, it wasn't like a bad thing happened, or it's just like, oh, it's not where I wanted this to go. But I should have known better. It's Casey West. What did I expect? Then I read Una Out of Order by Margarita Montemor. This follows a woman who wakes up on her 19th birthday in her 51-year-old body. And this keeps happening every year for the rest of her life, that she wakes up in a different year of her life. This book was pointless. Truly. There's nothing she could do to change anything that happened. So what was the point? There's no lesson that she learned that she couldn't have just learned living her life in chronological order. But as someone who didn't like The Midnight Library, I feel like if you like The Midnight Library, you might like this book. No offense. I think this book is for people. It's just not for me. Then, a book that is for me. Not Happy Family by Sherry Lupina. Family drama at its finest. Okay, there's how many children? 3 or 4? Maybe 3? They don't like their parents because their parents kind of suck. But they're very wealthy. They're leaving large inheritances to their children. Their parents get murdered. And then we're rewinding to kind of find out who did it. Was it one of the children? Was it one of the other characters? All the little lies and secrets and betrayals and things within this family unit, and they're all like troubled. And even though the people who aren't like murdering anyone, they're still like not great people. And I love that about a book. I love Sherry Lupina. I've liked all except for one of her thrillers, so I love this one. Now the next, Greer Hendricks, Sarah Pekkanen, An Anonymous Girl. This one is a woman who is doing a study with a psychologist who's like asking weird morality questions, and then it gets like dark and weird. The woman who's taking the test from the psychologist, she's like, ooh, the psychologist is so cool and so put together and stuff. Like, it's another woman obsessed with a woman. Like, look at them. They're obsessed with each other. It was good. Stupid ending. I think I gave it 3 stars. Next, People We Meet on Vacation. 2 best friends who go on vacation every year together, but then something happened 2 years ago that they don't talk anymore, but now they're doing like a final vacation together. You can guess where it goes from there. It was cute, but it was so predictable, and it was silly and ridiculous, but like still cute, you know? Next, another most anticipated read, Melbourne Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This is 4 beautiful siblings in their life together. They are the children of Mick Riva, which is one of Evelyn Hugo's husbands in The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. But it's not about him. It's about his 4 beautiful children. Main character is Nina, the oldest, and we're just learning all about them and their lives and their parents. It's the day of their big party that they throw every year where everyone goes, all the celebrities go to. It's not as good as Evelyn Hugo or Daisy Jones and the Six, but it's still 5 stars. Taylor Jenkins Reid needs a different chart for me to rate things because there's so many 5-star books, but they're all like different rankings of 5, you know? We're almost done. The Ballad of Black Tom by Victor LaValle. This is a retelling of an H.P. Lovecraft book. I love his dedication for H.P. Lovecraft with all my conflicted feelings. To be a black man with a writing inspiration who's like this racist white man who wrote plenty of racist stories, to love him with your conflicted feelings and rewrite one of his racist stories with a black main character centering around that theme, like, oh, that made my eyes water a little. Like, it's such a complex relationship, but a beautiful thing. But what the book is actually about is a man named Tommy Tester who gets swept up into this magical world and takes control. Does something about his situation. It's like 1920s, 30s Harlem. So short, but so good, so powerful. Finally, The Chalk Man, C.J. Tudor. This is about a group of friends. When they were kids, they used to talk to each other through little chalk symbols. Then a dead body showed up with chalk symbols on it. Now 20 years later, we never know who killed person before. There's some chalk symbols showing up. It's a thriller, a mystery. It's good. It's way dark. Warning, it's dark. There's some uncomfortable things happening, but it's really good. I actually want to read everything C.J. Tudor has written now, if there's more stuff, because there were so many things going on. There were so many relationships, so many mysteries. I just loved it. I can't even say anything else because I'm just like tired of talking now. Shoot, I missed something I don't own. I also read The Silent Patient, 4 stars. Okay, the twist didn't blow me away like it blew everyone else away, but it was good, and I look forward to reading more from Alex Michaelides. Wait, there's one more. Oh, 21st Birthday by James Patterson. The 21st book in the Women's Murder Club series. Holy moly, I've read so many books in that series. And it was fine. And that's all I have to say. So, okay. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you next time.